Attention all my gamers and NFT enthusiasts. The Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast is hooked up with the Lightest Spirit Network to offer you something special. Go to the top line of the description box and click on the link to play a season preview of the game Finesse Shadow Warriors. Is brought to you by play.finesse.fun. Go to the top line of the description box if you into NFTs and if you into gaming. Go have non-stop fun. Tell me your boy Oga sent you. The link is at the top line of the description box. Play.finesse.fun. Go get
it. To Kiss FM, and he got it added first. That was the first black station that added I Got a Man, and I ain't looked back since.
Right. Now I also heard, I don't know if this is true, let me know, that you were battling Jay-Z. You guys were going back and forth battling. Is that true? And if so, who won?
Kane had a warped sense of humor. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand, we were on the road, man, and we got bored quick.
Right.
When you driving from New York City, driving all the way to Oklahoma or something, you gotta find ways to amuse yourself. So right. Kane would come in and be like, "Hey man, hey yo, Pies, what's up?" I mean, he said, regular conversation. Hey yo, what you think about Jay? Yo, Jay cool, yo, Jay, yeah, Jay, Jay the homie. Like, yeah, but I don't think Jay respects you, man. He like, yo, you only get shouts and screams because you got records. I'm like, what? What he said? The next thing I know, I'm a my shoes are tight now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm walking through the bus and I'm just looking at him like, oh, all right, okay, all right. And so I see Kane talking to Jay. Now I know he told Jay, yo, Jay, man, Paz don't think you really got any skills. So Kane got me and Jay like this.
Dang.
So next thing you know, we're on the bus, man. The little friendly cipher starts up, and it's like, then we going at it. Next thing you know, it's getting serious now. I'm rapping, he rapping. Yeah. Everybody's stopping. It's just me and Jay. We rapping. And Kane's in the back just dying laughing. You know what I'm saying? Because he got us amped and hyped, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he used to say, okay, I'm gonna bring y'all out in the middle of the show. Y'all figure out who's gonna go first or last. He didn't say what, and we couldn't figure it out because everybody wanted to go last.
Right.
Going last was the spot. So he said, Kane said, check it out. Whoever gets the most, the crowd cheering from the most will go last the next night. I said, you know what? I'll go first this night. So the first night out, we went. And let's just say I've been going last ever since.
Oh man.
And Jay, no disrespect, but you knew what time it was there, and true, I did have records. People knew me more than they knew him. You know what I'm saying? So I might have had an edge, I think I'm going first now if Jay go up. So
that's dope.
Big shout to Jay-Z, that's the homie, man. That's the homie.
Sure. Talk about the industry. Because you said in the beginning of Party Records, you hated it. Kane came and got you out. You know what I mean? You made I Got a Man, or you showed him, and you know what I mean? The rest is history. When it came to that record, blew up. But talk about your time in the industry. Oftentimes we have people on here, and they have a multitude of experiences when it comes to this conversation and this question. So what's yours?
I'll tell you this. If it wasn't for the industry, I probably wouldn't have made it as far as I have, because I became a businessman, not knowing business, not knowing how to really handle finances, how to take meetings or any of that. I made myself a businessman. People laughed at me. I said, I'm going to start the company. Probably the first one after Russell, doing independent. I did that, and I helped out a lot of people. I helped out Wu-Tang Clan, get out, protect your neck. Me and I got a partner of mine who's my promotion guy from Polygram, which I was signed to. Seeing what I was doing, I was making relationships with DJs around the country. That's how I got signed. Was I sold 80,000 units of Night Shift, song called Night Shift, that was produced by Kane, and that's how I got my deal. And they also realized what I was doing as far as promotions, so they gave me some promotion money. Probably one of the first rappers to get promotion money. People say that along the line, but I mean, I was really the first one of the very first to get it, because no one was doing independent companies at that time. I hope Showbiz and AG. That Joe, Wu-Tang Clan, definitely with the Protect Your Neck. They talk about it to this day. I'm one of the guys who made Month of the Man, because I had an artist named Raggedy Man that was signed to Def Jam. I had got 2 REL labels through Russell. I had a couple of other artists that were signed to Payday, which Patrick Moxie and those guys used to manage Gangstar and them dudes. Um, it was that, and the promotions thing took off. I started doing promotions, and L.A. Reid reached out to me and my partner Sincere Thompson and asked us to work this group called Outkast. So they flew me down to meet these 2 dudes, and I went down and I went to the dungeon and I sat there and I listened to everything they had, and I loved what they were doing. To this day, I think they're one of the best duo groups in rap. Next to Run DMC. Went down there. I never forgot they had these car seats in the dungeon. So you sat down, and when you got it, you felt like you was in the ride when you was listening to it. That was so genius to me. I thought that was incredible. But at that time, I was number one. I was on top. I was on top of the world. I was the hottest guy on the planet. Through the young, through the old, nationalities, you name it, genres. I was rocking everywhere. I was doing bar mitzvahs. You know what I'm saying? That's how hot I was, and I broke Outkast because DJs. This is when the South wasn't being heard at that point in time. It was like, oh, this is some guys from the South,
right?
And unless it was like shake music, it wasn't. You didn't really hear it, and I broke the record, man. And I was telling DJs, man, give me them spins, because I had a great relationship with DJs. You know, even after even when I was signed to Polygram, I was still working with the DJs. I knew their mothers. I knew little sisters that was going to school. Your daddy was sick. I know they was sick. I remember birthdays. I used to call people, wish them happy birthdays. I was tight with DJs, and that's why I always had great success. So Outkast broke, and next thing I know, it took off on it. After that, it was gone. You know, it was gone. Funkmaster Flex was like, "Come on, man, you're making me play this." And next thing I know, I'm like, "Flex, how you digging it?" "Oh man, nah, it's banging. Oh, we on. Yo, you good?" And it took off, man. And Outkast has never looked back. First time they were ever seen was on Yo MTV Raps, Fab Five Freddy with me. They came to my office in New York. It was supposed to be my interview, but I said, "Bring them in and let's introduce them to the world." So I brought them in, and the first time they were ever seen was on Yo MTV Raps on the Fab Five Freddy and myself.
Powerful. Thinking about how the music has changed from when you came out in the 90s to now, hip hop has evolved. Do you think it evolved for the better or for the worse in some instances, as far as like the messaging with the women and men? How do you feel about that?
Man, evolution is evolution. That's always to the good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But as long as we evolve, and as long as this thing keeps on moving, it's good. Anything stagnant is going to, some point, it's going to die. We don't dig with stagnation. We always deal with the movement. We build and we destroy. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? So the movement was always great. I think it's a double-edged sword, though. I think that production these days are incredible. I love the production. I think production is insane. These producers, man, these guys are like accomplished musicians. You know, some of these guys now play 2 or 3 instruments. You know what I'm saying? And they mastered engineering because the technology is learnable. You know what I'm saying? So these guys got that equipment where they can mix the song in a closet. You know what I'm saying? It's incredible. You know, and the production is insane. The creativity, I think it didn't progress from where we came from. I don't see the progression of the creativity. You know, when we came up, all we had was 2 turntables and a microphone, and we might have had a drunk uncle that played the bass. You know, and that was it. That's all we had. We had to make do. You know, you had the Tribe Called record. Hey, we had one bass line in the song. That was somebody uncle who played the bass.
Right.
So that was it, man. That's all we had. But these guys today, man, songs are incredible. If the creativity can meet that production right now, I think it would evolve again. You know, if we could do that. You know, so but evolution is always good. I let everybody that has their turn to burn. Let these cats do what they do, and hopefully they'll look back and say, you know what? Let's put Slick Rick on this joint. Let's get KRS on this joint. Let's put Positive K on this joint. Let's get Big Daddy Kane on this joint. Let's get MC Lyte rocking with such and such on this joint. You know, hopefully we'll get there one day. You know.
Let me ask you this: in your professional opinion, from being in hip hop and kind of sitting on the manager side and scouting talent, why do you think the creativity is lacking today in hip hop? The production is insane, like you said. I completely agree, but the creativity from that side, why do you think it's lacking?
Well, in our era, we never had too much of an artist repertoire. You know what I'm saying? But we did have some. I mean, guys tried to do it, like the Russell Simmons tried to do it. Andre Harrell tried to do it. They tried to emulate the Motown. How to teach guys how to speak on interviews without saying "nah man," "nah me," "nah man." I did it 20 times. You know what I'm saying? So there was an instance in my era where you were taught how to be an artist, and get on stage and want to do a good performance, how to, and how to greet your fan base and talk to them and interact with them. I think right now it's a bit arrogant right now. I don't think people don't treat the fan base like that's their lifeline. They treat them like, hey, you on my joint right now? Stop sweating me. Like, why you on me like that? You on my necklace? Get off my. It's like they don't give them respect like that, and fans don't want to. People don't want to come up to you when they treat it like that.
Right.
They can love the music and so forth, but you gotta treat people correct, man. When someone's loving the craft and what you're doing, and appreciate what you do. You gotta show some love back, and I don't think you see that right now. And I think it's the lack of creativity because no one showed a lot of people how to perform on stage. A lot of guys don't want to get on stage if they don't have a video. They don't get on stage unless their song is in full rotation. And that's a shame because you can still see the veteran artists like Gladys Knight. She'll perform. Charlie Wilson will perform and do a show.
Mm-hmm.
And say, well, here's my new song. You ain't never heard it before, but he's gonna do his new record. He's gonna leave you with something new. And new artists don't even want to do that. They don't want to get on stage unless somebody knows it. Or they get on stage with 9 guys and 12 guys, and it's like I'm not. Who's the artist? Who is mine? You know what I'm saying? And, it's a little confusing, man. I'm confused. I got a lot of questions, but I don't knock the folks, man. I don't knock this generation for what they do. They had to do it, man. I support them 100%. But if I was to sign a new artist right now, he would know how to do interviews. He would know how to interact with his crowd. He would know how to get on stage and perform, and he'll do it without the video and without the rotation, because that's where it starts. Mm-hmm. And if you do it, and if you nail it there, when everything else comes into play, then you're a monster.
Mm. Great points. Talking about hip hop today, how about the women's side though? Is that we think it's the same as the men's side? Because you would want to think about the song you put out, like the message in that. I got him, man. What's that man got to do with me? You kind of see that same message like reverberating through hip hop now with the women, even in the men. So how do you feel about that aspect as well?
Well, no one has yet seen the top that yet. Duet. Man, no one has topped that yet. And many have tried, but no one has topped that yet.
Right.
When I first did that song, it was, let me tell you where I was coming from with it. That's why I can compare it. Marvin Gaye was my number one artist, man. You know what I'm saying? Right. And when I was making records and I was getting success, but not what I wanted, I said to myself, what would Marvin Gaye do if he was a rapper? And I said to myself, you know what? All the Marvin Gaye joints were duets. It was either with Tammy Terrell, after she passed, it was with Diana Ross, and then Dionne Warwick. Mm-hmm. So I said, you know what? I got one of the baddest females right here. Let me do a duet. And that's what I did. I'm Not Having It. That was the mothership that launched the whole thing. And I Got a Man was the sequel. But what I'm seeing right now is that I don't see the females giving female subject matter. You know what I'm saying? I see females talking like dudes. When I did I Got a Man, I did it from the female. I looked at how females were doing things. And I was just chiming in with how females would chime in my perspective. But it was from a female perspective. Females are really rhyming from a man's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see the femininity other than the twerk and the fashion and lyrics. I don't see it I don't hear it in the lyrics. Every female I see that's rhyming is tougher than dudes. And I understand it. I understand they feel they have to have some kind of bravado to come into a man's arena. But if you're a woman, men come to the female arena because we want to be around the chicks.
For sure.
That's what it is. And I haven't seen the femininity coming from women. I mean, I see the sexuality of it, but I don't see the vulnerability, like, where a woman do something when she bats her eyes and like, oh, come on, don't hurt me, daddy. Well, come on over here and do this for me. And she's breaking the man down. I haven't seen that yet. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen it. I just seen everything over the top, too much, little too much, and aggressive in a manly fashion. But I haven't seen a woman totally feminine and rhyme. I mean, if you have, let me know, because I haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen that, but I gotta go here. You've seen a lot of men do feminine shit in hip hop now. So the world is reversed. So talk about that, man, because I mean that just is what it is. Men, the women want to be men, and the men, they want to be women. So what's up with that situation in hip hop as it pertains to hip hop?
I came from I can't tell the story. I came from a young rapper, man, and we were very, in my era, we grew up, but we were very homophobic back then. You know what I'm saying? Right. We didn't know. There was a rumor there was a gay rapper. We didn't know who the gay rapper was. So I help you, man. Me and Jay-Z and all. We used to be in our hotel rooms. We had to share rooms. Nobody changed their clothes. Needless to say, we was a little ripe sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Like, fuck that. Nope.
Yeah, nobody jumped in the shower until somebody went to the store to get some food or something. And you would run, shower up, and you throw your joints back on. Be like, yeah, okay, what up? You know what I'm saying? So we were very homophobic back then, and times have changed. The world has evolved, and the right for people to live their life and do what they do is what it's a given. That's a given today. So I don't knock nobody. Rock what you do. You know what I'm saying? MC Uncle Peaches, do your thing. I got no problem with you, man. Not whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? I know there's some people in the business that I work with, and they live the lifestyle that they choose to. I won't say alternative. It's the lifestyle that they choose,
right?
And I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? As long as I don't get approached with that, I'm good. But I know people, and I hang out with people, and I do business with them. And that's what they do. That's their choice, and I got no problem with that. As long as we take care of our business, I'm cool. I'm good with it. But it's the sign of the times, and that's what it is. I mean, we always thought about who was this person, who was that person. Was Michael Jackson really Michael Jackson? Or was Michael Michelle Jackson? We didn't know. You know what I'm saying? But we loved the music. We didn't know if Prince was, with vanity, or was he wanting to be vanity? We didn't know. But we appreciated the music. We appreciated the music, man. And first and foremost, if we respect that, that's what it's about, man. What anybody do behind their closed doors is their business. Ain't mine.
Word.
So what's next for you, man? I know that you're doing a comedy now. Have you completely put music on the shelf, or are you kind of still dabbling in music as well?
I used to say comedy is my side chick, but I love her now.
Dang.
Well, I committed bigamy. I got 2 wives now. I love her, man. And we going that way, man. We going that direction.
Right.
This is what we doing. This is what I'm doing. I'm glad to see that I pushed a lot of people, from my genre to come in and throw their hat in the arena too. I'm not by myself anymore, and that's cool. And hopefully we'll see a rap comedy tour coming in a minute. And not too long ago, I did a show with me, Slick Rick. It was Rick, Rakim, Kane, myself, DJ Jazzy Jeff, and Rakim. And at the end of my show, man, I went into a little quick set. You know what I'm saying? And they loved it, man. In that setting, I didn't know how it was going to go over, but they loved it. It went well. So hopefully we'll see some more of that, man. Some more of those things happening and go in that direction. But definitely, man, I'm 100. I'm 100 on that.
That's what's up.
Absolutely, man. We definitely appreciate the conversation. Yeah. Positive K on the Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast. Appreciate you taking us back, man, and giving us some jewels. I learned today that you were the woman on I Got a Man. I never knew that was you. I'm probably sure you said it on a million interviews, but I never knew that. That's crazy.
Hey, listen. No, I wasn't the woman. I was just the voice.
The voice, yeah.
The voice that was tweet to me.
Hey man, we in this day and age.
Like the female. Now, we really got to be clear in this, in this climate. We got to be clear. Nah, man, it was fun doing it. Matter of fact, recently Brady Watt just called me. You know the dude that plays all the bass line licks when you rhyme and whatnot. He hit me. He's like, "Yo, man, I want to do that joint with you, man. That is so genius. It is so genius." Musicians and artists think it's, I think it's very genius. And I never was going to talk about it. I was going to save it for my book, but it leaked out. And I think DJ Mr. C was the first one to start talking about it. Wonder why. But nah, big shout to Mr. C. He family these people's man. It leaked out with him, man, and that's how it started. So I said, I'm not gonna hide it, but it was a genius thing to do. No one really ever done that, and again, a lot of people have tried to even do it with just regular records or just doing personality kind of things. They've done that, so it's good to see that the influence is still shining.
Real quick before we get out of here, did you hear Kendrick's on his last album, the one he did? I forgot what it was called, but the joint is incredible. Where he goes back and forth like "fuck you, nigga," nah, "fuck you, bitch." Nah, did you hear that joint? It's
incredible. It's psycho. It's like
yeah.
It's like it's like the movie Psycho when dude was playing his mother. It was literally like some psychopaths talking to psychopaths. It was incredible. But he's a genius, man. He's a genius. I wouldn't expect nothing less than that from Kendrick Lamar.
Word. Take us home.
Right, yeah, definitely, man. Positive K here on the Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast. Real quick, drop your social media handles, websites, anything else you want the people to know. Floor's open.
Hey, you reach me at +_K_ on Instagram and Twitter. If y'all still messing with Facebook, man, it's the official Positive K. Follow me, I'll follow you back. Fellas, if you got your shirt off, you're getting blocked. Don't even do that to yourself. All right, I'm not gonna follow you. I don't care if you came from the gym. I don't care if it was a quick selfie. If I see shoulder blades, you're not getting followed. Okay.